Then, of course, it goes on beyond that, because in chapter 5, Paul is saying, of the times and the seasons you have no need that I write to you. And I would say most of you who are listening to me are fully aware. For you know perfectly that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes on them as travail on a woman with child, and they will not escape. So it's absolutely clear that all this talk about different things and a warning and a preparation, the final act, the final moment of the return of Christ is sudden and unexpected. I mean, Jesus uses the illustration: two in a bed, two in a field, two in a factory, one taken and the other left. That's how sudden it will be, even for the believer. And so we have to be, well, he goes on to say, verse 5, this is chapter 5, verse 5, you are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, not of darkness. Let us therefore not sleep, but let us watch. Then he goes on, those that sleep, sleep in the night. Those that are drunk in the night. But those of us who are in the day, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. For God has not appointed us to wrath, but to attain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us, that whether we wake, now it comes back to this same thing, whether we wake, that's we're alive, or we sleep, we'll be together with him. Somehow to me it does clarify that the reunion is when Christ returns, but we're treated equally, those that have died and are asleep in him, and those of us who are still awake and alive at the time of his coming. So it is very, very much a strong exhortation to be ready. That's why Jesus uses the illustration of the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins, because there's all 10 of them waiting for the coming of the bridegroom and the bride. Now, how is it that only 5 are ready and go in? Because they had oil in their lamps. The other 5, the oil had run out, and they're told to go to the supermarket and buy some more. But by the time they'd done that and got back, the door was shut. So it's very, very clear. Not everybody goes into the kingdom. And I'm not going to go into the theology of who the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins are. But I think there is a clear division even amongst those who are theoretically waiting and believing. I think that's why we need to pray. We need to examine ourselves. And that's why if you go on into the end of this 5th chapter, it's an exhortation to us to be ready to live according to God's standards. And then in verse 16, rejoice. 17, pray without ceasing. 18, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. And in 19, quench not the spirit.